Hi guys! Guess what I just did? I just got back from Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2. And I'm just gonna say right off the bat, I am not a Twilight fan in any way, shape, or form. I liked the first film for reasons that I won't go into. New Moon. Oh, I hated that movie. I don't remember seeing Eclipse, to be honest. The first part of Breaking Dawn was not bad. They finally started doing some good CGI, which was great. Like, when Bella was dying in the first part, that was pretty epic CGI right there. And I have to say, I enjoyed tonight's movie! I enjoyed the film. I mean, there are things that I found annoying about it, but as an overall experience, I am not regretting seeing the movie. And I'm very glad about that because I didn't want to come here and just tell you guys how much I hated it, because I felt like that would just be overly and unnecessarily cynical, because I want to tell you something. So before going to the movie tonight, I was thinking, like, at the end of the film, I'm just gonna stand up and be like, good riddance, no more Twilight, motherfuckers. Now that I'm thinking about it, for the Twilight fandom out there, as much as I am not a part of it, the Harry Potter fandom annoys the shit out of a lot of people. So, the Twilight fandom and the Harry Potter fandom are not all that different. I mean, we're now all generally the same age, and we have all now officially finished the films. Like, my fandom, the Harry Potter fandom, we had the exact same thing a year ago. Deathly Hallows Part 2 came out. So now, after I saw the movie, I'm kind of wishing I went on, like, opening night to kind of see what kind of response it got from the fandom. And the end of the film really had no emotional effect on me. Like, spoilers, when Bella was showing Edward how they first met through her mind. I don't know how that happened, but when all that sentimental shit was going down, that wasn't giving me feels the way that Harry Potter gave me feels at the end of Deathly Hallows. But I'm sure there were a lot of people in the theater tonight that were having all sorts of feels that I could sympathize with in a sense. So, the Twilight fandom out there, I know what you're going through, okay? I know how this goes, and I know that for several months after this, you will be like, what now? What do I do with my life? There's no more. Like, I know how that goes, because I went through the same thing, and I'm here for you. Trying to explain things without sounding like an asshole. I will tell you that the last film, I was satisfied. I was entertained. I'm glad I went to go see it. I mean, it's an end of an era, so it's kind of something that you have to be a part of whether you like it or not. It is my generation. Like, my generation is the Twilight generation, and I have to live with that. It's definitely something to, like, look back on in, like, 10 years and be like, the Harry Potter fandom versus the Twilight fandom, and then, like, Hunger Games came in and it was like, whoosh! There were some things in the movie that I found entertaining for different reasons, and if you haven't gone to go see it, you can stop watching now. I included all the spoilers in the second half of the video so you guys can watch the first half, because I'm clever. So, first off, I don't know why they felt the need to CGI the child throughout the entire film until she was, like, full-grown childness, because that was just creepy. I thought at the end of the last film it was just gonna be like when the baby first came out, oh, it has Bella's eyes and Edward's chin, I don't know, like I thought that was gonna be like, oh, baby, and then they would get, like, an actual baby to play the baby. But no, they had a creepy CGI baby that was like a morph. You guys know those things on the internet when you can, like, put celebrities' faces together to make it look like, oh, this is what their child would look like. This would, like, the Animorph thing. That's what it looked like. It was creepy, and I didn't like it. That definitely made it harder for me to take it seriously because it was a creepy CGI baby. But I was really, really glad that we got a fight scene, even though it technically didn't happen because it was all happening in Alice's mind. And oh, I didn't know that was gonna happen because I didn't read the books. So that was cool. It was like, oh, heads being ripped off, everybody dies, a big crevice in the ice is opening up. Oh, it never happened. Fuck you. Oh, you got trolled. Alice was hardcore trolling. That definitely, as soon as they like came back to reality, I was like, like, I didn't know that was happening, so that was cool. I mean, I got a weird satisfaction when like Dakota Fanning died. Like, that was weird. And the battle scene, while great, still a little bit unsatisfying because there was no actual blood. Like, no literal. It's like, because they're vampires, they don't have blood. Even though they suck it, I don't know. It's like, rip the head off and it just fell. Like, there was no, like, splatter and stuff. Like, in True Blood, like, when they kill a vampire, it, like, explodes into, like, guts and blood. I prefer my fight scenes to be a little bit bloodier than that, but I know they couldn't have been too bloody because they wanted to keep it PG-13. Kristen Stewart got way hotter as she got older, and way better looking as a vampire. When she was yelling at Jacob about giving her daughter a nickname, I laughed. You gave my daughter a nickname after the Loch Ness Monster? Ah! Like, that was just, I laughed. The idea of imprinting still creeps the shit out of me. When my sister told me, I had her sit me down and like explain the entire series to me one day, and she's like, oh yeah, and then Jacob imprints on Bella's daughter, and then I was like, what? What? That's creepy. And then when they showed, like, the future, like, oh yeah, he's gonna be in love with your baby? Oh, that's just weird. Lee Pace and Joe Anderson were in this movie. Lee Pace, if you don't know, was Ned from Pushing Daisies and Aaron from Wonderfalls. And Joe Anderson was, like the best friend in Across the Universe, so that was cool because they were perfect and adorable and attractive and sassy, and I liked them. I liked when they brought in all the different vampires from different places because I was kind of getting sick of looking at Rosalie and Jasper and whatever the other one is, I don't remember. But it was nice to see, like, vampires that weren't all super white and super Northwestian. So I liked that. I liked that they had, like, different characters that were, like, more multi-dimensional, because one thing about Stephenie Meyer's characters that was so annoying is that they were very one-dimensional. It was nice having a lot of different characters that had different facets of their personality. I quite enjoyed Lee Pace as Garrett and Joe Anderson as Alistair. I'll tell you what else was a good choice. Frickin' soundtrack? Holy crap. That is one thing. Alexander Patsavas is the perfect music director. So they brought on Patsavas on the second film. It's actually the same person who does the music for Grey's Anatomy, like the music director for Grey's Anatomy, who gets in all the bands and the songs and like this super cool indie soundtrack to Grey's Anatomy. Same person does that for the Twilight movies. So when the New Moon soundtrack came out, my world collapsed because I was like, how do I love something so much out of something that I hate so much? So I have come to accept the fact that the soundtracks of Twilight movies are always going to be better than the movies themselves, and this one was pretty good too. You got Feist, you got Passion Pit, you got Pop, etc. Oh, that was a nice surprise at the end of the movie, having Pop, etc. on the soundtrack. I was like, I know that voice. That is Christopher Chu's voice. I love it. Except the only part of the soundtrack that I could not stand, like, oh, I fucking hate that song, 1,000 Years by Christina Perri. I hate it so much. It's one of those super cheesy songs that it's like they wrote just for the fact for people to use it in like cheesy romantic situations. Like that song that Train has, like, called Marry Me. It's like, oh yeah, they're obviously writing that song so that people can use that for specific reasons. And I feel like Christina Perri wrote this song just for the Twilight series because they're immortal. And they literally live thousands of years. So that works. What did I do to my hat? That was the only part of the soundtrack that I despise because I hate that song. But overall, I enjoyed the film. However, I'm very glad that Twilight's over. Because the Harry Potter fandom, Harry Potter is over, Twilight is over, we can move on, keep going with the Hunger Games, because that's still happening, and just grow up. Because we're all adults now, Like, my friend Laura, she made a good point. It's like, the people who read the books when they first came out are all our age now, so they're not that, like, fans anymore, like teenagers. And now I'm ready for Robert Pattinson to be in a romantic comedy because he's actually funny in person, and I feel like he probably, like, celebrated like no other person in the world when they were done shooting, because nobody hates Twilight more than Robert Pattinson, and I want to rent all of them just to watch it with his commentary on it, because he's so self-deprecating and so self-loathing. Like, you know how much he hates it by what he says in the commentary, because it's awesome. So in conclusion, Twilight Fandom, I'm here for you. I know how this goes. I enjoyed the film. I'm glad it's over, but it's also a little bit bittersweet, because it is the end of an era, and I know how you're feeling, because I went through the same feels last year. So if you've seen the movie, let me know what you liked and disliked about it. Let your feelings out. Give me all the feels, because I'm here for you. I'm here in a big feelings hug. Big feelings hug. I know what you're feeling. Ow, it feels good, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Big group hug. Fandoms can all hug and rejoice because it's all over. It felt good, didn't it? Yeah. Now it's getting weird. We can stop now. It's midnight, so I'm gonna go now. Bye, guys!